IntelliSwab COVID-19 rapid test logo appears. The test kit box and test device appear.
The IntelliSwab COVID-19 rapid test is designed to be the most intuitive and easy-to-use self-test available. It's so simple and user-friendly, it can be used anywhere and anytime, providing easy-to-read results in just 30 minutes.
A woman reads instructions at a table. Then the view zooms through an animated scene showing trees, a road with traffic, and a cityscape to a test device. Text appears, just 30 minutes.
This video will take you step-by-step through the simple test process.
A man swabs his nose, swirls the swab in a tube, and sees results. Text appears, swab, swirl, status.
But be sure to read the enclosed instructions fully before performing your test.
A person reads the instructions for use.
Okay, inside the IntelliSwab kit, you'll find 2 sealed foil pouches.
The test box appears, then fades into a square pouch, which has a purple band across the top edge and the IntelliSwab logo on the right. On the pouch, drawings of a tube and test device. A dashed line separates 2 halves of the pouch.
Each foil pouch contains 1 test device and 1 tube.
The pouch fades to show the test tube on the left and the test device on the right. The test device has a main body with a raised circle and rounded corners on the top end, and a thinner shaft piece that sticks out from the bottom. The shaft flares wider just before the swab tip, which is a soft, rectangular flat pad. There is a narrow rectangular result window in the middle of the device, marked C and T. The tube is half as long as the device and has a textured cap on top.
Inside your kit, you will also find the test stand for the tube.
A white plastic test stand slides in next to the tube and test device. It has a flat rectangular bottom and an open space on the front end to hold a cylinder at an angle.
And full instructions for use in English and Spanish.
A long page of English instructions flips over to show Spanish instructions on the other side.
Before you begin, be sure you have a way to time your test.
An animated drawing shows hands starting a 30-minute timer on a smartphone. Text appears. Before you begin.
Next, wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water for 20 seconds and dry.
An animated drawing shows hands rubbing together with bubbles. Text appears, 20 seconds.
Then place the test stand on a flat surface.
The stand lowers onto a table.
Now, pick up one of the 2-part pouches. Tear open the pouch containing the tube, remove it, hold it upright, then gently take the cap off by rocking it back and forth.
Hands tear the pouch from a notch in the left edge to the middle. Remove the tube, hold it upright, then wiggle the cap up and off. Text appears.
Do not twist and do not pour out the liquid. Slide the tube into the test stand and let it rest at an angle as shown.
A hand lowers the open tube into the stand, angling it back toward the center of the stand.
Lightly blow your nose with a tissue to make sample collection easier. Do not use the tissue to clear out your nasal passage.
A woman blows her nose into a tissue once. Text appears. Blow nose gently.
Then wash your hands thoroughly.
An animated drawing shows hands rubbing together with bubbles.
Remove the test device from the foil pouch and be sure not to touch the flat swab tip with your fingers.
Hands tear the other side of the pouch from a notch in the right edge to the middle. Then they remove the flat test device by its larger handle end.
Insert the tip of the flat swab inside your nostril.
A woman holds the device by the handle at an angle and puts the swab tip in her right nostril.
For adults, circle around the nostril 15 times and maintain contact with the inside wall of the nostril.
She repeatedly moves the tip in a circle around the inside of her right nostril. Text appears, swab 15 times.
Do the same with your other nostril, circling the swab around 15 times.
She moves the swab tip into her left nostril and repeats the circular motion. Text appears, swab 15 times.
If you are collecting from a child ages 2 to 14, circle the swab slowly at least 4 times in each nostril. This should take about 15 seconds.
A woman moves the swab tip around the inside of a child's left and then right nostril, holding the device at an angle. Text appears, swab 4 times. Text appears.
You may get a false result if you do not swab the correct number of times.
The open tube rests in the test stand. The cap and test box are seen in the background.
Once finished, hold down the test stand firmly and place the test device into the tube. Swirl the test device 10 times to mix the swab sample with the liquid in the tube. Make sure the swab is toward the back of the tube so that it makes contact with the liquid.
A hand steadies the test stand while another inserts the swab tip into the tube and repeatedly moves the tip in small circles against the bottom. Text appears, swirl 10 times.
Now, just leave the device in the tube with the results window facing you and the stick fully down in the tube. Start your timer for 30 minutes and do not touch the device or tube during this time.
An animated drawing shows hands starting a 30-minute timer on a smartphone.
When you see a pink background pass through the results window, you'll know it's working.
The front of the test device appears, and the white result window fills with a pale pink color. Text appears.
After 30 minutes, read your results. And remember,
Text appears.
reading results before 30 minutes or after 40 minutes may cause false results. Now, let's take a look at how to interpret your results.
Text appears. Negative result.
Your test is negative if there is a reddish-purple line next to the C and no line next to the T.
The result window appears, showing only one horizontal reddish-pink line across the top of the window next to the letter C. The rest of the window is blank.
There must be a line next to the C to be able to interpret a negative result.
Text appears.
All negative results are presumptive and require serial or repeat testing. To increase the chance that the negative result for COVID-19 is accurate, you should test again in 48 hours if you have symptoms on the first day of testing. Test 2 more times at least 48 hours apart if you do not have symptoms on the first day of testing.
Text appears. Positive result.
You have a positive result if there is a reddish-purple line next to the T and no line next to the C, as seen here.
The result window appears, showing only one horizontal reddish-pink line across the middle of the window next to the letter T. The rest of the window is blank.
You have a positive result if there is a line next to the T and a line next to the C, even if the C line is faint, as seen here.
The result window shows reddish-pink lines next to both the C and the T. The C line then fades, so it is almost invisible.
You also have a positive result if there is a faint line next to the T and a line next to the C, as seen here.
The line next to the T fades, so both lines are almost invisible. Text appears. Invalid result.
Your result is invalid if no lines are present, if the lines are not complete, or if a reddish-purple background makes it impossible to read the test after 30 minutes.
3 result windows are shown, blank with no lines, then with incomplete C and T lines crossing only part of the window, then with a faint reddish-purple background along its length, but no lines. Text appears.
After your test, call your healthcare provider to report your result. This chart shows you how to use this test for serial or repeat testing.
A table titled, How to Use This Test for Serial Repeat Testing from the instructions shows how to interpret results when repeating testing based on whether the person tested has symptoms or not. If the first result is positive, results should be interpreted as positive, and repeat testing is not needed. Text appears.
If you have a negative result, test again in 48 hours if you have symptoms on the first day of testing.
The table indicates that a negative result on the first day and a second negative result 2 days later should be interpreted as negative. If the second result is positive, results should be interpreted as positive, and continued testing is not needed. Text appears.
Test 2 more times at least 48 hours apart if you do not have symptoms on the first day of testing.
The table indicates that without symptoms on the first test, testing should be repeated for a second result 2 days later. If that result is also negative, test again 2 days after that. If all 3 results are negative, results should be interpreted as negative. If any result is positive, results should be interpreted as positive, and continued testing is not needed. Text appears.
If you are unsure of your result, contact us at 1-833-601-0127. IntelliSwab. Smart science made simple.
Test kit box and text appear. Smart science made simple TM. IntelliSwab.com. This product has not been FDA cleared or approved, but has been authorized by FDA under an EUA. The emergency use of this product has been authorized only for the detection of proteins from SARS-CoV-2, not for any other viruses or pathogens. This product is only authorized for the duration of the declaration that circumstances exist justifying the authorization of emergency use of in vitro diagnostics for detection and/or diagnosis of COVID-19 under Section 564(b)(1) of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, 21 U.S.C., Section 360 BBB 3B1, unless the declaration is terminated or authorization is revoked sooner. Box size and content may vary. Copyright 2023, OraSure Technologies, Inc. IntelliSwab registered trademark is a trademark of OraSure Technologies, Inc. COV 0140, revision 423.